How have you guys grown?
Mhm.
How do you acquire customers?
Yeah.
And then kind of what challenges do you foresee looking forward? Because you've got a newer platform coming out. I'd love to hear a little bit more about that.
So it's a bit of a story, but I'll keep it quick. For the last 18 months to 2 years, I had a development team with me. So it was me and 6 or 7 developers. Every month we would, because it was on a contract basis. And so we would have an SOW. We would have specific things that we needed to build in that time frame. No matter what, it always got delayed. Even if we were moving fast, that's just what happens. During that time, about 18 months, I was constantly speaking to people, and the development side, no, to them, because they were amazing. It's just the money was running out because the traction wasn't catching up. We had been working on it for 18 to 24 months. And so I had to
Yeah.
make a tough decision because we had 10 customers. It took a lot to get those 10 customers. I did manual outreach through LinkedIn and email because I wanted to like see what was going to kind of get more people to respond. And so I did that. And then I turned it into like this full on sequence. It was an automated sequence. So it was a mixture of email, LinkedIn messages, and even try cold calling here and there. The
Yeah.
numbers that I kept getting were terrible. We started doing that. I do a lot of post and building in public, talking about remote work,
Yeah.
talking about asynchronous operations on LinkedIn. So I kind of built a little bit of a following there. Nothing crazy, but enough to kind of build this little network around me. And that's how we really got 10 customers. And I also went through like an incubator, a remote
Yeah.
incubator. And through that, I was able to get 10 customers. But the problem was at the same time that we were gaining these customers, we just rolled out a freemium version, which is like 5 people or less. You can use Grapevine for free. And so out of the 10, the majority were on freemium, right? So
Oh,
that was a lesson learned. And the thing is like if your product is valuable enough, people are going to be willing to pay, right?
right.
And I think what I was trying to do for founders listening, what I was trying to do, I think, was make the product be validated the way that it was by having people say yes, by removing that friction of a payment. And
Mm.
so it might have made me feel good at the time. And honestly, I remember if I look at some of the posts I did as like, we got customers and it feels great. And you look at the bank statement and you're like, whoa, you know?
That doesn't feel
So
great. Right. Yeah.
yeah. And so around September, towards the end of August, when the SOW was ending, and I had to do some like deep reflection on, were people hyping me up just because like they knew me or like we built this relationship and they were willing to take a chance. But the thing that I kept realizing was, okay, the software that we built, a lot of people were asking for XYZ or asking for ABC, which is
Sure.
normal. But it was this constant thing where like certain things started to like pile up in the sense of like they were asking for the same things, and I
Mm,
and we couldn't move fast enough and the dollars were not there, you know?
right.
And
Right.
so I took this big chance and said, okay, I found this system I'm going to use and I build it myself. So we didn't continue the contract with them. And from September to now, I've been heads down. I'm not a developer either,
Oh,
like
wow.
the coding background, but
Yeah.
I have the operations background, which has elements that allow me to have a system thinker mindset. I started building the tool, one that I wanted, and then two that was based off of the feedback of the 100 plus leaders and teams that I was talking to over the past 18 months. And one of the biggest things we touched on is in a remote or a distributed environment, a leader needs visibility into the organization. If you don't document it or track it in a remote environment, you might feel like you're not being productive, or you might feel like you are being productive and you're not. So
Mm,
like that's why the first step could be search, it could be generating the product or the project, it could be whatever it is that you're trying to do. Then you turn that information into insights and then into action. That's how we think about everything in the system. And that led to the insights page, which is like you have your individual productivity stats that you can look
Right.
at, but then you also have your team stats that you can look at. And that's the visibility that a lot of remote leaders are looking for. That's
Yeah.
what they were telling us specifically. How do we grow from here? We
Right.
we have to take the learnings from the last software and apply those lessons, be more strategic, methodical, cautious. Like even we've opened up our beta doors, but we're very specific about who we let in because we don't want the people who are going to be like passive. We want the people who are going to go in, and hopefully teams too, right? But we want the people and teams that are going to go into the system, in some cases try to break it, in other cases think about it in a way that we're not thinking about it, and help us build that system that we all know that we deserve. And
Yeah.
so quick here, some things we're going to do, we're going to still do outbound. I spoke to a guy yesterday we're looking at, but we have the PLG motion built
Yep.
into the system. So like
Yep.
if you share a public note or a project, it'll have try Grapevine for free, right? And so that can be a mechanism. We're going to do affiliate programs where, or referral programs, however you ever want to word it. We're going to try to get B2B micro influencers. I want the honest truth, right? Like I want people who are going to review the product and then say like, this is amazing, but this part sucks.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
so we can do better. No ads or anything at this moment. We got to
Yeah.
learn what we don't know, and we got to keep in mind the learnings that we did learn earlier.